is mesoionic compounds 3. In this mesoionic compounds 3, I'll be dealing with the type B mesoionic compounds. So for example, for type B mesoionic compounds is 1,3-diazolium 4-aminides. Okay, so we'll begin with the synthesis of this compound. What we are doing is, when the nitrile is treated with the benzoyl chloride, and upon treatment with the benzoyl chloride, benzylation will take place, then it will lead to the cyclization process. Okay, so this R1, R2, R3, R4 will represent here. R1 and R2 will be your phenyl groups, that is your aromatic compounds, and then benzenes, and then R3 will be your alkyl, that is your methyl, and then R4 is your hydrogen atom, and then this is your benzoyl group. Okay, so moving on to this reaction. So first we are taking the nitriles and then we are doing the benzylation reaction. Upon treatment with the benzoyl chloride and with the cleavage of your Cl, okay, first there is a salt formation. Before the cleavage of Cl minus, there is a salt formation, that is your aminoimidazolium salt. Okay, once the aminoimidazolium salt is formed, then upon treatment with the NaHCO3, okay, upon treatment with the sodium bicarbonate, then 1,3-diazolium 4-aminides is obtained. Alright, and then moving on to next slide. That is moving on to reaction part. With the alkynic dipolarophiles, how you will synthesize, how you will make use of this 1,3-aminides. Okay, aminides. So we are taking the aminides compound and then upon treatment with the alkynes, what happens here is, there is a cycloaddition reaction which is taking place. Is this bond will go and attack ene and dienophiles. This one bond, alkyne bond, will go attack to the alkene, that is your carbon atom, and then meanwhile this bond will neutralize the positive charge. And here if you will see here, this alkene bond will go and attack to the carbene. First what happens here is, negative charge of the nitrogen atom will go make it as a double bond, meanwhile this double bond will go and attack to the carbon atom. Okay, then you will result in this bicyclic adduct formation. After the bicyclic adduct is formed, then there is a ring opening reaction which is taking place with the cleavage of this whole of this moiety, that is your R1 N NC double bond N R5. With the cleavage of whole of this moiety, upon rearrangement you are getting the pyrrole as your product. Alright, then moving on to the next reaction, that is with diethyl azo dicarboxylate. So here what happens, we are taking this as your aminides as your starting compounds, and then you are treating it with the diethyl dicarboxylate. Okay, azo dicarboxylate. Azo is for nitrogen atom. Azo dicarboxylates. Once we are treating it with that, upon addition, cycloaddition reaction, and you will result in the stable adduct formation. Okay, moving on to next slide. That is, you are starting the 1,3-dithiolium 4-olates. This is the structure for 1,3-dithiolium. Thio is for sulfur atoms attached. Olates is for O minus. Okay, 4 olates. And then it depends on the position. So 1,3-dithiolium 4 olates. This structure will be represented by these all of the canonical form resonance hybrids. Okay, so let's begin with this. This is similar to this structure, right? Structure number 1. And then here if you are doing the resonance of it, what happens here? When this bond shifts, then there is a gain of a positive charge in the sulfur atom. Sulfur, when it is having 3 bonds, it will gain a positive charge. Okay, so once you will gain a positive charge, here if you will see, the oxygen is having a negative charge, right? This negative charge will go make it as a double bond. This bond shifts and it will generate the carbanion. Once the carbon ion is generated, and meanwhile this bond will go here, and this will neutralize the positive charge, and it will generate one of the positive charge over here. Alright, and then moving on to next structure, you are seeing with this all this, when the carbon ion is generated with the double bond in the double bond from the minus charge, then you will generate the carbonyl compound and then in the third this is the third structure. Then moving on to fourth structure, what happens here is this bond will shift and it will turn it to carbocation. Okay, and once the carbocation or the carbonium ion is formed, then again in this minus charge will abstract the proton on, and then this positive charge will go and it will give you one bond, okay, resulting you in the positive charge in the sulfur atom. That is your fifth structure. Moving on to next slide. In the synthesis part, how we are synthesizing the 1,3-dithiolium 4-olates. Okay, so here one of the synthesis is from the dithioglycolic acids. This is your dithioglycolic acid. Upon treatment with the acetic anhydride or the amines compound, that is your tertiary amine, and with the cleavage of your water, here what happens, the lone pair of electrons in the sulfur atom moves and it will give you the one of the double bond on, and then this double bond will go and attack to the carbonyl compound of your acid, and with the cleavage of your water molecule you will result in the this structure formation. Okay, and again upon resonance hybrid, then you will get back this structure of your 1,3-dithiolium 4-olates. Okay, moving on to next synthesis, that is your from dithiobenzoic acid. This is your dithiobenzoic acid. When this dithiobenzoic acid, this R will be like wearing, this is your dithio compound, benzoic acid will be your R group. Okay, and then dithiobenzoic acid upon treatment with the alpha halo acyl halides, this is your alpha position, halogen group is attached, alpha halo acyl halides. So upon treatment with the alpha halo acyl halides with the dithiobenzoic acid, the sulfur which is having the lone pair of electron will again go and attack to the carbon atom of your alpha carbon, and meanwhile there is a cleavage of your halogens. Okay, and after the cleavage of halogens, then you will result in this adduct formation. Again upon cyclization of this reaction and this structure, you are getting 1,3-dithio 1,3-dithiolates. Okay, 4-olates. Moving on to reactions with the alkynes, how it will react. Okay, this thio compounds, how it will react. So first we are going to show the resonance of it. If this structure is similar to this, right, and then what happens here is this minus charge will come back. Okay, so if you will see here, this minus charge will come back and it will make it as a bond. Again this bond will shift and it will make it as a carbon ion over here towards this position. Okay, and then meanwhile what happens here is this will neutralize the positive charge and then it will go back and it will generate the carbocations. Okay, carbonium ions. And then moving on to this, first after the resonance, after showing the one of the canonical form of it, then what we are doing is we are taking the first structure, okay, the original structure, and then we are treating it with the alkynes. So when we will treat it with the alkyne, then what happens here is this undergoes the cycloaddition reaction, and then after undergoing the cycloaddition reaction, if you are not clear with the cycloaddition reaction, I will make a separate video for it. Okay, And if you want any kind of mechanism for the generation of this bicyclic adducts and all, you can ask me. I will show you all these mechanisms. Okay. And then this bicyclic adduct is formed. Once the bicyclic adduct is formed, this bond will shift over here, and then this bond will shift. Meanwhile, this bond will shift. This whole moiety gets cleaved out. That is your COS. Okay. This whole moiety will get cleaved out, and then if you are showing this one, right? So this COS is getting cleaved out, and you will result in this structure. Alright. Okay. And then moving on to with the alkynes, this is how you are taking the dithiolume compound sets for pyrrole, 1,3-dithiolume olates, 4 olates. Upon treatment with the alkenes, you are generating one of the bicyclic adduct formation. Alright. And then again with the cyclic alkenes, that means these compounds, cyclic alkenes. Okay. So when you are taking this cyclic alkenes and upon treatment with the 1,3-dithiolume 4 olates, and then again cycloaddition will takes place. Alright. And again cycloaddition reaction will takes place, and you will get back this as your product formation. Moving on to next slide, that is with the formaldehyde. And with the formaldehyde, how you are doing the reaction is, upon thermal condition, again you are taking the 1,3-dithiolume 4 olates, and again upon treatment with the formaldehyde thermally, 2-oxa 6,7-dithiobicycloheptanones are formed. Alright. And then moving on to photochemical cycloaddition. This is very important in the exam point of view. Alright, so here if you are taking the 1,3-dithiolume 4 olates, it's upon irradiation in presence of oxygen on treatment with the rose bengal. Okay, this you have to remember, upon treatment with the rose bengal, upon irradiation treatment with the O2. This can be your direct question as well. Okay. And then first what happens, the ozonides O2 will be formed over here in the bicyclic adduct formation. Then again upon treatment with the solvents such as methanol, all the OCH3 minus will go and attack this OCH3 minus. Alright, this will go and attack to the carbonyl carbon, and meanwhile this will shift this double bond, it will make it as a O minus, and that will abstract the proton from here. And after the abstraction of the proton, okay, this O minus is going and attacking to the carbonyl carbon, and this bond shifts, it will generate the negative charge that will abstract the proton from the methanol. Okay, and once it will abstract the proton, you will get back this structure. Alright, and then this OH bond will break, this bond shifts here, it will make it as a double bond, and meanwhile this bond will shift, and then this is one part of reaction, that is first you will generate the two adduct formation in the first, and then again this bond will shift over here, it will give you the diketones. Alright, and then you will result in the methyl phenyl glyoxylate with the cleavage of S sulfur atom. You will get back diketone formation as well as R1COSH. Two products are formed. Alright, and then again upon treatment with the oxygen in presence of air, what happens here is this dibenzoyl disulfide is obtained. If you have any doubts related to this mechanism, let me know. And then this R1 and R2 will represent the phenyl groups. If you have any doubts, please ask me over here in this type of mechanism, this part. Any doubts, you can ask me in the comment box. Like and subscribe. Thank you. If you have